ready for a vacation after that forecast. You got to escape this heat, but you don't know where to go exactly. The hardest part often is planning the trip. I know all about it. So to help make it happen for you, Christina Kredit is here from Copper State Credit Union with the advice we desperately need, especially next week, because it's about to get really hot out here. So we got to get out of here. Christina, thank you for being here. All right, let's talk about the first steps, because this is a big problem of mine. I can't commit so far in advance because I feel like if something changes, I won't be able to change it. What are the first steps if you're trying to plan a trip?
Well, if you're going to plan a trip, I want to set your mind at ease. You can go with a travel insurance option. So this is a really good idea.
I always wondered if those are worth it.
So there's a couple times where it is. If you're going internationally, yes. If it's otherwise non-refundable, yes.
Okay.
If you're going to do somewhere high risk or engage in high risk activities, you know, those adventurers out there, that's another time you might want that travel insurance.
Okay, so absolutely get the insurance.
It will cover things like cancellations, medical expenses. You don't always need it, but something to consider.
Yeah. Do you have to jump through hoops if something changes with these travel insurance?
Not typically, no.
Okay.
So I wouldn't worry about that. But really, you want to make sure you're notifying your financial institution before you go.
What do you mean?
So when you notify your financial institution, that tells us to expect different types of transactions from you during that time. We're always on the lookout for fraud. We're trying to protect Arizona families and keep them safe. There's a lot of fraudsters out there. So if we notice at Costco, you're, you know, on Tuesday, you're at Costco buying lawn furniture, and then all of a sudden you're in Mexico, we might lock your card.
You're going to get declined, you're going to get the text message, the whole thing. Okay, that has eased some of my fears. Thank you so much. We got more questions, though. What should everyone be on the lookout for when they're trying to plan or when they're getting ready to plan? You
know, I think there's a lot of areas where you could stress and everything's going to be just fine. But one of the ones you want to make sure you do is secure those important documents. So if you're going to be traveling with your passport or a travel visa or, you know, even your driver's license, make a copy of it before you go. Keep it in a safe place just in case if you're traveling internationally. You want to make sure those are secure. And then when you get to your destination, either keep it on your person in a secure place or in the safe if that's available. That pickpocketing, unfortunately, is getting out of...
And I'm back to being scared again. So if something were to happen, this is just me asking, and if you did have a copy of your driver's license, is that going to be valid if you need it to be? You
know, it's more of a safeguard to have, you know, at home as a validation of, you know, this is mine. You will still have to get a replacement, but it's just something to have as a backup, maybe to, you know, prove your identity if you need to.
Okay, let's talk about spending money wisely when you finally get to the place where you're going, because first of all, you've spent a lot of money to get there, and now when you're there, your advice on, you know, keeping the expenses low but still having a good time.
Well, my favorite tip, and I'll start with this one, but then I'll get to the real tips.
Oh boy.
My favorite tip is to start saving now for the vacation you want to take next year, because then if you save $200 a month every month until next June, you will have $2,400 to go on vacation next year, and you won't have to borrow anything.
Right, and you don't have to worry about being so frugal on the vacation because you've got mad money.
Yes.
Okay.
But if you do have to borrow, consider like a personal loan rather than a credit card, because those credit card interest rates, they are brutal.
Right.
Unless you're paying it off right away, of course.
Okay, so I know you should plan ahead, but sometimes, in my opinion, it's not always the best savings. Sometimes you can find deals, you know, that are not within that 4-6 months away time period. So what's your advice there on planning ahead? You just said a year.
That's if you want to save up. But in real life, we don't always do that. And so when it comes to getting up to your vacation and you're ready to go, you're ready to have a good time, what you can do is sit down and estimate what you think you're going to pay for meals, for activities, for transportation. Just having that number in your mind will help reduce the number of impulse buys that we love. Because, you know, I don't know about you, but vacation mode, is like swipe and look away.
Swipe, yes.
Right, so you can make it so that you know what those numbers should be, and it helps a little bit when you get there.
So can I call you when it's time for my next trip?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. That made me feel better. Now, if it was too much for you, how about you just stay here and let's talk about treats that'll keep you cool when you're